Thank you for sitting down with us for the second time, first as a candidate, now as President of the United States. And I want to talk to you about jobs, the economy, healthcare. But first I want to get your reaction on something. It appears that your 2005 federal taxes were leaked to the mainstream news. Your reaction to this?
Well, first of all, it's illegal to do it. But I just think it's so disgusting when people can take a tax return, which is supposed to be almost sacred, and just release it like it's nothing. I think it's a terrible thing. In the meantime, I paid a lot of tax. I paid $38 million in tax. That doesn't include sales taxes and real estate taxes and lots of other taxes, don't forget. But I paid a lot of tax, and I employed a lot of people, and I, made money, made good money. Look, my company is a phenomenal company, and you never have anything to be embarrassed about. It's successful, and I employ thousands of people, and that's a very important thing to me. But they shouldn't be leaking tax returns, that's for sure. Whether they're good or bad, they shouldn't be leaking them.
Do you know who leaked them? Do you have any idea?
I don't really have too much of an idea. I know the reporter is he's a weird dude who's covered me he's been following me for 25 years, so obviously he hasn't done so well. He's been following me in a negative fashion for 25 years, always a hit. And I'm president, so I guess he hasn't done a very good job. But I don't really know. Could be him. Could be him.
All right, sir. So I want to talk to you about jobs and the economy, especially here in Michigan. Right now, China is the largest manufacturer in the world. So how does Michigan, how does the United States really build the rebirth of the auto industry, specifically here in the Midwest?
Well, we're coming back, Nick. We're coming back big league. As you know what's happening in Michigan. Ford's coming back. General Motors coming back. They're stopping largely with other plants in other countries. I won't go specific as to countries, but they're coming back with plants. Big league over here. Ford's going to be announcing an expansion today. General Motors is announcing an expansion. Fiat is coming in. I'm not only talking about the plants, but while we're in Michigan, let's talk about Michigan. The auto industry, and I said this to the people from day one when I won Michigan. I said, I'm going to win Michigan, because when I got the award, the Man of the Year, 5 years ago in Michigan, I talked about how Mexico, for the most part, but others are taking your industry away. You got to stop it. But I wasn't running for office. Who knew I was going to run for office? And then this happened, and I've been the best thing that can ever happen to jobs and to the auto industry in Michigan, that I can tell you.
Why is that specifically?
Because I'm going to bring back the jobs. I mean, I'm already doing it. They've already stopped building 2 factories in Mexico. They're coming back to Michigan big league, and they're coming back to Ohio and Pennsylvania and other states also. But they're coming back big league to our country. And that's what I said I was going to do. It's one of the reasons I won. And next week we're going to be announcing something that's going to be very big for the auto industry, and I look forward to that.
Looking at healthcare, what role did you play in congressional Republicans' proposal?
Well, in a way, I'm an arbitrator. I want to see it happen, but it's got to be great for the people. But in a certain way, I'm an arbitrator. I want to make it really good. I want to make it really strong. It's tough because we're not going to get any Democrat votes, even if it was good. If we gave you the greatest health care plan in the world, in the history of the world, the Democrats won't vote because they don't want the Republicans to get credit, which is a very serious thing. They're selfish, and it's a very, very... I don't even have my cabinet approved yet. I can't get people out of their long process. And they're great people, but I can't get them out of the process. So if we put a plan down that was the greatest plan in history, we wouldn't get the votes. So people ought to call them and tell them to get on the ball. But we're going to end up with a great health care plan. And to me, that's very important, because Obamacare is a disaster. It's failing. It's expensive. It doesn't work. You don't have your plan. You don't have your doctor. All the lies that we're told. And pretty much that's it.
So what does the GOP plan, what does it do that Obamacare doesn't do?
Well, it does many things. I mean, I could talk about this for 10 minutes. But on many things, when we get phase 3 approved, we're going to go for drug prices reduced. We're going to reduce drug prices. We're going to have a bidding system that's going to be fantastic. It's either going to come in phase 3, and if we can't put it in phase 3, I'm going to do a separate bill, but that's so important to me is drug prices. But prices for health care will go down. We're going to have tremendous competition. We're going to have a much, much better plan in terms of health care. We're going to cover every single circumstance, which Obamacare doesn't. You take a look at what's going on with Obamacare. First of all, Obamacare won't even be around in a year. If we didn't do anything, within a year or two, it's going to implode. It's already imploded. If you look at Arizona, it's up 116%. This year is going to be worse. This area is through the roof, and next year it's only going to get worse, and this year. So Obamacare, you're really, when you compare things, you're comparing a fiction, because Obamacare is not going to be around.
I want to ask you, what have you learned in this role so far within the last 2 months? What's the difference between being a CEO of a very successful company and being President of the United States?
Well, I think one of the differences is the dishonest media. You know, I deal with the fake press, and some of it is wonderful, and they're wonderful people, but much of it is fake. It's, you know, it's lies, and it's a whole big, I guess, political bent. What can I say? So much of the news is false. When you do something great and they say not good or not as good as it should be. And, you know, but we just got poll numbers today. I had my best numbers today that we've had since president. We're doing really well. People understand. The people of Michigan understand, because the people of Michigan see the car factories and the manufacturing coming back. The automobile companies are coming back to Michigan. Believe me, if I didn't get elected, they wouldn't even be thinking about it. They're not doing what they were supposed to be doing, which is building all over Mexico and other places. They're coming back to Michigan and other states, and they're coming back fast, and I think you see that. In fact, I'm meeting with them in a little while. We have a big round table with all of the major car manufacturers. I want them back in Michigan, and we're going to make it real easy for them to come back. But if they want to leave and fire all their people, and they're going to build cars and then sell them back into the United States with no tax, those days are over. If they want to build in another state, they can do in another country. They can do that. But when that car is manufactured, they're not selling that car back into this country without paying a price. And that's going to keep the car companies here.
And when you meet with these auto executives, what tone are you going to take in this meeting?
Well, I think it's a very nice tone. I mean, I'm going to help them. I'm going to help them on a mission. I'm going to help them on fuel. I'm going to help them on things that they need help on, because they can't meet the standard. There's no way they can do it. You know, you can only do so much. You can only get so much out of a grape, is the expression. So I'm going to help them. But they're going to help me, because if I help them, they're going to open up factories and they're going to create jobs. And if they're not going to do that, I'm not helping them.
All right, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for sitting down with us.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.